Let's go. Fucking duo.
Try.
So it's been a pretty busy week for me on video. I've gotten quite a lot done. I'm trying to work on boosting my contribution points up because I find it would help a lot with my worker empire. I also want to set up more farms, which can take a lot more CP. So I think my goal is to maybe hit about 250 CP by next week. I did also have a comment saying that I should boost my CP, and I do agree with that. It's definitely a bit too low, and especially now that I have 291 energy, I do find I need more CP. But as you saw, I was doing some cooking turn-ins, which I got about a 10 CP boost, which was really nice. I did do a decent amount of cooking this week, but most of my time was spent to grind. On my ranger, I did hit level 60 at pirates. I spent over 35 hours, but before we go over all that, let's just go over a bit of the things I did this week before I got into pirates. So in those clips you just saw, I did manage to get myself a duo crescent ring. I don't know where my first pry attempt went, but I did fail my first attempt at pry, and then I succeeded my second attempt. And then when I had that pry, I went for duo crescent ring, which I did succeed on my first attempt. So I was definitely happy with that, didn't have to waste any more money, and I kicked one of my Zula rings out of there. I do want to end up replacing all my Zula pieces. I said that in my last video. So I also went for a necklace of good deeds. I don't know if that's the best one to go for, honestly. There's probably better choices, but I went for pry and succeeded, and then I went for duo and failed. So I just gave up on that, but yeah. So this is just another CP turn-in. My last one that I showed you, I got 10 CP, and then this one I added 4, bringing me from, I think it was 167 to 181 CP. And here's another necklace of good deeds attempt. I hit a pry first time, hit a duo first time, and then when I go for try, of course, it busts. Alright, so we're actually going to move into pirates now. Everything you just saw was done before I got into my 35-hour grind. But for pirates, we're not going to go over it as thoroughly as I would. Even though I did do a 35-hour rotation, I just didn't keep track of it as well as I should have. I won't be going over the rotations. I do know of 4 rotations there, but maybe in another video we'll do that. But we could just go over the XP I earned and what drops I got throughout the 35 hours. Maybe I'll go over some PvP encounters also. This was actually my first time getting into PvP, so I'm pretty ruthless at it right now. But I have hit 60, so I won't be focusing on grinding as much, and maybe I could focus more on PvP. Some people did give me some tips and tricks. I didn't even know what my knockdowns were, what my stuns were, but I'm getting there, getting the hang of it a bit. I do need to respec my build a bit. But for now, let's just go over my XP, and then we could get into the drops I got. So XP of pirates, it's going to be kind of hard to calculate. I did have a lot of buffs going, but I did my best to kind of figure out what was my average XP with no buffs and with buffs. So I'm just going to do a quick explanation here and go through what exactly all this is on the screen. So the XP buffs on the left side where it says combat book 50%. So throughout the whole grind I had a combat book active giving me 50% boost. And I spent 35 hours there. So meaning if I had that 50% boost, that combat book actually is adding about 17.5 hours worth of grinding there if I didn't have that boost active. So I did that with all the milk tea, the weekend buff, and my 6-hour grind at 200%, and all of those added up to about 47 hours worth in buffs. And then in the orange here we have no buffs. So this means I added the 35 hours, and then I added the 47 hours worth of the grind, and then I divided it by the XP, and that gives us about 0.78% XP per hour. So this is basically how I calculated it from what I earned with buffs versus without buffs. I don't know, you guys look at it. If there's any problems, just let me know in the comments, of course, but I'm just going to take this value, pop it in our chart that I do usually with our 10-hour grinds, and then we could see what we would expect if we were to be grinding on the weekend or our 200%, etc, etc. So of course with no boost, as I said, we got about 0.78% XP, and this means on the weekend we can expect about 1.56% XP, and on 200% hour boost we can expect about 2.34% XP, and then on 200% plus your weekend boost you get about 3.12% XP. Of course this is all at level 59, it depends on what your level is and it depends on what class you are. So there's a lot of factors that come into XP, but of course this is what I got. This is my average as a 59 ranger. But yeah, I guess that should explain XP enough, so now we could move on to some loot and all the drops I got at Pirates. So calculating drops at Pirates is going to be a bit more confusing because I grinded in a party and I grinded solo. I would say it was maybe a 50-50 split, if not a bit more party than solo. But throughout the 35 hours, I'm just going to put up on screen all my drops right now. I'm not going to go over everything, but if you're actually interested in everything I got here, just give the video a quick pause, you can read through it. But for now, I'm going to move on to my silver per hour and how much you can get if you had Master 2 trading. So my silver earned without a trading buff, my drops was 264 mil, my coins were 23 mil, giving us a total of 288 mil silver over 35 hours. So that means my silver per hour was about 8.2 mil, which honestly is good considering the XP you get here. But if you had Master 2 trading, your drops would still be 264 mil, but your coins would now be worth 90 mil, which brings you to a total of 354 million by the end of the 35 hours. So this means you would earn about 10 mil per hour while getting some good XP. So basically what I'm saying is Pirates is really good. XP wise it's one of the best and the drops are decent while you're at it. If you had 4 tier 4 pets and you're able to grind solo here, it would be the most ideal. You'd probably make upwards of 15 mil per hour. And honestly, before I didn't want to go to Pirates because everybody said it was so contested. But there are a lot of parties to join which you can grind safely, and you would only get contested at solo jungle. But people are pretty respectable there. They will duel you for a spot instead of just flagging up and making you run all the way back. But there are still people that do that, and declining the duel will probably get you flagged also. So yeah, that's going to be the end of Pirates. I did manage to hit 60 in under a week, which was actually really good. I started at 35% all the way up to 100% and got level 60. Now I'm going to take a break from grinding for a while. I'm probably going to work on getting my CP up a lot, work on cooking and alchemy. And I'll do some bossing now. I'll do a lot of Karanda, try to get myself a dandy, and I'll be hitting up that night vendor, trying to get myself some more boss armor, and maybe try to replace that Nova with a Kudum eventually. So that's basically my 35 hours at Pirates. I'm not going to go over much more there. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was quite a grind to hit level 60. But yeah, I don't have much more to say. I have a bit more enhancements to show you guys. I think I have a Pride Tungrad, which, yeah, fails. And then I have another Pride Tungrad, which fails. And then I go for another Duo Crescent Ring, which I'll show you guys now. You just have to go, skip, bam. Got it. Okay. Easy.
You ready for the duo? Only bitches skip that shit.
Nah, real men fucking
No
skip.
way.
Nah, you got it backwards. You got it backwards.
Nah, you got it backwards.
So yeah, I did actually manage to get myself another Duo Crescent Ring. So that's 2 Duo Crescent Rings in the week, which is really awesome. Even though I had those Pride attempts on Tungrads, which failed, but like I can't really be too upset because I did get those. I do want to end up replacing my Zula pieces also, my Zula necklace and my Zula earring. I'll show you guys my gear from my previous video to my video now, so you can kind of see the upgrade I've done in the past week. I also do want to snipe boss gear, but I've been pretty unlucky with that. The marketplace hasn't been giving me any boss gear. But since I'm 60 now, I'm gonna just start doing world bosses. I'm probably not gonna grind to 61 for, I would say, the next month. I'm gonna give myself a good break. So yeah, hopefully I can get myself a dandelion and some boss gear doing that. I do, like I said, want to replace my Kudum, or I want to replace my Novur with a Kudum. So there's quite a lot of goals I have in mind. It takes a lot of time, and honestly, that's why it's kind of hard to put out these videos, because you need to put so many hours into grinding just to make like a 10 to 15 minute video. So I hope you guys enjoy. As always, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. What do you guys think about skipping enhancements? Do you think it's more lucky to skip your enhancements, or do you watch that bar go up? But yeah, as always, keep on grinding, keep on grinding, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.